That's the funny thing. I did not have a quinceañera.
You
So
guys
that's
do
what
that.
we
You guys do that in Mexico, though. Yes, I mean
we.
that's not just an American adaptation that we've picked up
It's
just to
like
have a
this.
party for.
No, I mean it is like the sweet scheme. I think
Mhm.
some girls have. We do it at the age of 15, but it has to do mainly and mostly because of a Catholic tradition.
Okay, I've actually
So
been to one. I didn't know what I was really, you know, doing, and
getting into
I was obviously older, so I wasn't really paying attention to the quinceañera itself because it was little girls. I was there because I was invited by adults, and again, it's
right. Yeah,
who needs
yeah.
a reason to drink, right? So
Right.
that's actually it's one of the big things.
Yeah.
I follow this couple on TikTok, and they're always talking about their Mexican traditions because he's Mexican and she's white. Um,
Yeah.
she's giving him a hard time because he has to get. We got to stop to the store and get beer. She's like, it's a 1 year old birthday party. He's like, I know, but I have to get beer. She's like, why would you need beer for a 1 year? Because that's what we do.
Yeah.
She's like, we don't even have a gift. We don't need a gift. We need beer. If I show
We
up
did
without
beer.
beer, we can show up without a gift. I can't show up without beer,
Yes,
And
yes.
but I mean, it's true. I mean, I've had a lot of Spanish friends from different countries and stuff like that, and that is always
Okay.
like a big thing, especially with my Mexican friends. Like, you
Yeah.
bring beer. It doesn't matter what it's for. You
You
bring
just
something
bring
for the
beer.
cooler, and
Yes. Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. So yeah, I mean, in my family, like I was telling you, we weren't that traditional, and that's why I didn't have a quinceañera. For me, it was just I didn't have the option. Like my parents, my grandparents talked to me, and they said, "You want, this, you want to wear that poofy dress, long dress," and I was like, "No, not really," So
well,
it
like a
wasn't
shot,
stuff.
but other than that,
I mean, it was for me. It was a waste of money. It's a throwing a big party. And it's not gonna last for a night. So
sure,
I chose to travel. I always love to travel. Through social media. Then me and my husband love to
yeah,
travel.
you
So
guys travel all the time,
so
which is great. I think that's amazing.
it is
So
amazing.
all right, so here we go. So now you're in America. Um, let's talk about some differences. So you didn't do your quinceanera, which is do they have? Um, we had a show called My Sweet 16 where they showed a bunch of little privileged 16-year-olds have these
Yes.
giant parties for 16. And quinceanera is kind of the same thing. Did they have My Sweet Quinceanera in Mexico? Did they show that? Is that a show?
It's not a show,
It
but
is
I
not a
think
show. Well, it
I
should
don't
be.
think it's a show, but I think it is inspired, by the Sweet 16. The quinceañera gets inspired now by the Sweet
Okay,
16. So,
I would agree with that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
rate on a scale of on a comparison scale of 1 to 10. Rate Taco Bell for me.
Oh my gosh.
Do we love
Oh,
Taco
there.
Bell, or
I like
is
it.
this just garbage to you?
I
You like
like
it?
it.
Are you gonna?
I do. But
You
this
have to
here
say that because you're an American citizen,
that's part of it
or
now.
are you free to
No.
answer? You're
No, the
free.
thing is, so
Okay.
the thing is that I'm a very open-minded person when it comes, to food. I would try mostly anything, but I like Taco Bell. But if you're asking me to compare, the authentic,
Okay.
cuisine
So
of Mexico.
I see where you're going, and this is my next question. So
Okay.
what's actually supposed to go in a taco? Or you
Okay.
guys actually don't even have tacos, so that doesn't count. What's actually supposed to go in a burrito? In a burrito? What is actually
El
supposed to go in a
burrito.
burrito?
Okay, in a
Yes.
burrito, is not supposed to be as big as it is in America. I always call it American size. When they like
Yes.
put that big thing into a plate, I'm like, how many people are gonna eat this? Is this just for me? Just for a start, And we have, very super basic things to put in a burrito.
They should
It's
have brought in a
mostly
burrito and asked you how many people are supposed to eat this
right,
for your test, and
right, right.
10 people would probably fail. So that'd be a bad idea. You like,
But we don't put
Everyone?
that
No,
many
not
things.
everyone.
Right.
Okay, but I'm sorry. What
You're
goes in
fine.
in a burrito again? Go ahead.
In a burrito, you're basically just gonna put one type of. You don't put the sour cream and the rice and the beans and the lettuce and like I feel like you put everything that should be in a plate, in a complete meal. You just put it inside of a big tortilla, which is ginormous. I've never seen that big of a tortillas until I moved in here or I was visiting. So it's just a basic small little thing, and if it's beans, you just put the beans, and if you want the cheese with it, you put the cheese. But that's it,
Yeah,
you don't
and
put
it's a
that many
small
things.
tortilla. It's a smaller tortilla, and you guys use corn tortillas. You guys don't really use the flour tortillas. Is that right?
We do in the north. In the
In the
north
north, you
part,
use the flour.
yes, we do.
So we've got a little
Um,
American influence. People down south are like, "What is he
yes,
doing?" Okay, I got it.
uh-huh,
Um,
yes.
so I know this. I've had Mexican friends, and they made an authentic Mexican meal for us of burritos after church one day, um,
Uh-huh,
and it had hamburger and onions, and that was it. And they're like,
uh-huh.
"But," and it was amazing. It was delicious. Um, but
Simplicity.
we're looking at it like, and they're like, "Don't worry, for our American friends, we have the lettuce and the cheese and all that kind of stuff over
Hey, you
here."
see what I told
You know, yeah. So this is why I asked the question, because I know that depending on where you come from, yeah,
you?
you guys do not put all the silliness in there that we do. That said, do
Yes.
you like all the silliness that we put in there? Is that still acceptable? It's not like home, but is it still delicious, or is it just too much?
Sometimes it's too much. I'll still eat it, like I said, I'm pretty open when it comes to trying different types of food. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna finish it, but I'll try.
Okay. What is your favorite word that Americans try to say in Spanish that they just completely are way off on?
That's too easy. My name.
I can see it because now you're Aurora. You know,
Uh-huh.
we
Which
we
I'm
have taken the
okay.
beauty away from your name by saying you're Aurora. I Aurora, is that
Aurora.
correct? Or is that too much of a roll?
It's too much of a
Say it
rule.
again.
It's
Say it again.
Aurora.
Yeah, I can't do that. That's I'm not that skilled. I know that happens all the time. Things have the Spanish instructions on them as well. You know, they'll have American and Spanish. So I'll just have fun. I'll start
Right.
reading the Spanish, and she'll just look at me and shake her head. You know, she's like, "That is so not how you say that at all."
Michael does the same thing, and sometimes it's funny because I don't have I say this way, but the stereotype accent that some
Mhm.
people from Mexico has.
Well, we all
Most of
think
the
that they all
time,
talk like this, and we got everybody
yeah,
has this deep,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
yeah.
and I don't have it, and some
Like Speedy
people,
Gonzalez. We all think you talk like Speedy Gonzalez. That may be dated because
yeah,
if you know who Speedy Gonzalez
yeah.
is, hit the like button. But yeah.
So yeah, so most of the people would be like giving me this, like through their eyes, this amazing compliment of like, you don't have the Mexican accent, and I'm like, well, thank you. I don't know if that's a good thing, a
I don't
bad
know how to
thing.
take that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's like, well, thank you. That means that probably you understand, what I'm saying. A lot of people, and this is something also that I think we talk about this, Chris, before. A lot of people don't know that I'm a psychologist, that I was a therapist, back in
Yeah.
Mexico, and
And
this
that
wasn't
is something else that it did not help you. You said you have a
no,
bachelor's degree. You know,
in a master's.
again, most Americans, many Americans don't have a college degree. You had a master's
Yeah,
degree,
which is
and
what was
this
also
does not
very
help you get your
surprising.
citizenship.
No, and I mean it was very surprising for me, uh, because of two reasons. One, I didn't know that most Americans don't have a bachelor's degree, or I have a master's degree too, and that's even rare. It's like, oh, you have a master's? I'm like, yeah, where I'm from, everybody tries to do at least something else than going to college. But it's a given. If you are in school, everybody knows that you're college. And
It,
it's a constant question, where are you gonna study? And that didn't help me at all. In the citizenship or the permanent resident card at all, they don't ask you those things. What did you
yeah,
study
I'll
or
get comments. I'll get comments for making this statement, but it really does speak to our society. The fact that because I know Europe is in the same way too. By the time you graduate what we would call high school, in Europe,
mm-hmm,
you've taken 5 languages there. And you
mm-hmm,
just said yourself, there's probably not as much need to take 5 languages
mm-hmm.
in Mexico, but like you
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
you guys have still taken multiple languages, and here it's like an option. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
like I said at the beginning of the interview, every time you go to another country, everybody speaks English. But
Mm-hmm.
as Americans, we don't even take the time or even try to speak the language for the country that we're going to. I think that says um, a lot. I'm not gonna again. I'm gonna get comments on it. That's fine. I love your comments. So please let me know what you think about that. But if you think that Americans are probably a little entitled, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Um,
Don't forget to hit subscribe. Check out the podcast every Wednesday on these providers. And if you ever want to be on the show, just email us at Y-TiSTiCS@gmail.com. Let your voice be heard on Y-TiSTiCS. I mean, hey, why not?